Today I'm in my garage in my work clothes because I'm going to take on a project here that might not work and may destroy my cars. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda out here in my garage, ready to work, get a little dirty, and the issue here is that I'm going to take on a project that I don't know if it's going to work, and I have my tape measure here with me because as I was looking, I have an idea about creating some space in this garage so that I can get my Buick in here because right now it is about 9 degrees outside, it is snowy, it is super cold. In fact, what you might be able to see here is that my little garage heater here is just never going off because even right now, inside this garage, it's pretty cold because it is super cold out there. Thus, it's going to be a huge help for me to bring in my Buick, which is the car that I drive most of the time, because when it sits out there and you try to start it up, she struggles. So what you can see here is I have a 3-car garage, but I have a double wide door here and a single wide door over here. And then there's this little pocket of space on the back there. Now I have some stuff there, and I think if I move it up to the front of the garage up here, I can maybe put my cars, these last two, the Gran Turismo and the Ghibli, up on skates, dollies, and push them against the wall because I'm not going to need those this winter. And then hopefully I'll be able to get 2 cars in this side of the garage. Now, I actually don't know if that's going to work. These 2 cars, by their dimensions, say they're about 6 feet wide. Now, I actually don't know if that includes the mirrors here, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. And I've got my tape measure out here because you can see I've got it at the edge of the garage door there, and then to the edge of this garage door, it's a little over 10 feet wide. And I think I have 2, maybe 2.5 more feet over there between the garage door and the actual wall. So that would mean I have 13 feet to get 2 6-foot wide cars pushed together and over there. Now, you obviously need a little space between them, and I'm not sure how it's going to work with the mirrors. I hope that they've included those in the overall dimensions or the published dimensions because it's not that easy to measure the width of a car. Now, the big risk here is that I get these up on skates, I can't move them around, and I crash into things, or maybe they drift and I get this thing wedged into a spot where I can't get it out. So that is one risk. The other big risk here is that both of these cars are super long. They are probably the longest cars I've ever had. In fact, they are longer than some SUVs. You can see I have a little space here where it doesn't hit the garage door. But if we go to the front, this sucker is right up against this little concrete ledge there. I only have a few inches of space. So if I am pushing this against the wall, I don't have a lot of forgiveness in there. And on this Ghibli 4-doors, it's even worse. What you can see here is that this lip overhangs that a little bit. So I basically have no forgiveness there. However, my hope is that once I get it up on dollies, that's going to raise it maybe a couple inches. And so that's going to make sure that this front lip doesn't scrape on this little concrete step here. So that's what I'm hoping. But I got to move all this stuff. I've got a bunch of stuff stored over here, including Santa. So I got to find a space for all of that before I can get this moved over there. And then this moved right here. And then hopefully we'll get 4 cars in here. I don't know. My level of confidence on this is maybe 30%. I feel like I'm going to get them up on skates. It's not going to be enough space. I'm going to have like half a car length here, which isn't going to do me any good really, except, I don't know, allow me a place to do yoga or something like that. All right, let's do it. All right, I'm pushing. The car is moving very slowly, and I'm trying to push it very slowly because, as you might be able to see there, man, I am right up against this garage door. So I'm trying to push it sideways and forward just a little bit to clear it out because I'm going to hit that garage track if I'm not careful here. So I need to get it up a few inches forward here, and that's not that easy because I've only got a few inches over here. So we'll keep pushing. Hopefully this sucker will work. All right, I've got it pushed over as far as I'm going to do it. That's pretty much as close as is comfortable for me. What you might be able to see here is that the mirror on this car is right over the center line of this garage spot. So we're looking pretty good, but really to get this car completely inside of this divider right there, I really need this center line completely clear. So we definitely have some space to work with, but I can tell you, I don't think there's going to be quite as much room over here as I thought. And to be honest, right now, getting that fourth car in here is probably, I don't know, I feel like a 10% chance. So let's get this one up on skates or dollies, get her moved over, and see what we got. Gosh, this Ghibli must have an extra ton on the Gran Turismo because it is barely moving. And I even checked the little locks to make sure the wheel locks weren't locked, which you certainly would want to do. But man, it's just moving a few inches at a time. This thing is heavy and it's not really rolling that well. Now, I will say that I think maybe a big piece of this is the dollies. I think maybe these wheels are a little more seized up or cheaper or angled or something, but this one is definitely more of a pain to move, and I am super close. I want to show you. I am outside the garage on this one. As you can see right down that center line. So I definitely have to get it back up front, which is funny because I only have an inch up front to move it. So it's going to hang over the lip of that garage step there. So, all right, we'll keep pushing. All right, after trying, and basically making it worse, car sticking out further than it was, I'm going to change plans here. Now, I think the problem is resistance I'm getting from the dollies in the back here. So I have two of these jacks, which are meant for just moving cars around. So they have really big casters. So it has a built-in step jack. So hopefully if I can get these off and these under it, maybe that'll give me what I need to move this car over. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try to undo it. But honestly, even when I was pushing the car back thinking, it's not going to work, holy smoke, I couldn't get it to move the other way either. So we're going to replace this and see if it works. All right, gloves back on. Let's see if this makes any difference. At a personal level, my fuel tank is about half empty at this point. But we got to push on through. That's what a cowboy does. Oh my goodness. All right, getting these things out, either I'm gonna need a block and tackle in the spring or I need to recruit a few of you guys to come out and help me with this. So these definitely roll easier. In fact, I'm kind of tempted to get two more of these so that I can move these on these types of dollies instead of those types of dollies, which are cheaper. But man, those do move a lot easier. Now, as you can tell, they don't move easily. You definitely have to push, and I kind of found pushing backwards, pushing on the wheel was the easiest way to go. Now I want to show you a couple things here, because first, if we go over here, I've got them about as close together as I feel comfortable, because I actually need to get in here and release this jack here. So I need to be able to squeeze in there and take the pressure off, because the cars aren't meant to sit on these kind of jacks. They're just for moving stuff around. That's about as close as I can get. But if we come back around here to the outside, and you can see in my garage, that car is not completely inside this divider, which I kind of knew and I kind of suspected that was going to be the case, especially when you factor in all the little extra cushion, the cushion that you need against the wall between the cars and just how wide these cars are, especially with their mirrors. So what I'm curious about then is if that's going to be good enough to get my little micro crossover in A3 in here too. So I'm going to take the pressure off these dollies and just see what kind of space we got to work with. right, I did it. Meandered all the way over here because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 cars in the garage. Meant for 3 cars. And as you can see here, wanted to show you, it's hard to meander all the way back here. GT is all the way against the wall. I've got a little space I can't get between these 2 mirrors myself. And then what you might be able to see here is that the Ghibli, as I was explaining, is still up on skates in the front, but I've taken off those temporary moving skates on the back because the wheels aren't meant to sit on 2 rollers. And then obviously I can barely get between these 2 cars. I have to move this mirror over if I want to get beyond it. But then what I got is my Buick in here and then the A3. And again, not a lot of space here, but yes, I got them all in. Pretty awesome. We're supposed to get 5 inches of snow tonight, so perfect timing. All right, that is a result. So until next time, Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter Von Panda.